Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
On today's episode, we are discussing Aussie at Heart, which originally aired on the Hallmark Channel on August 15th, 2026. Follow us around the internet. We are Girls Gone Hallmark everywhere. Facebook. The Facebook community pops off lately.
I wanted to talk about it.
All of a sudden, I don't know where it's coming from, but welcome. Glad to see your first impressions over there. But we're also on Instagram as Girls Gone Hallmark.
Yeah, Megan's referring to our first impression post last Saturday night for Absolutely Devoted to You. There were over 120 comments.
Yes.
That's insanity.
It really is, because those posts used to get like 2 on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening, but great.
It's great.
Look, our opinion isn't the only opinion, right?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
That movie was pretty well liked, though.
Oh, you think? I mean, I liked it.
Yeah, I do think.
I did see some of the comments, but I also saw other ones that were like, it didn't work for me. And I was like, that's too bad. I enjoyed it so much. So much that I listened to Hotter Than July yesterday.
As did I. It's streaming on Spotify, y'all. So if you would like to listen to the bop that is Absolutely Yes, Hotter Than July, it is, I'm sure you noticed, sung by Jesse Metcalfe.
Yeah. There was some question about it
in our episode.
Review. Yeah. I played it for my young adult daughter yesterday.
And what did she think?
She was like, this sounds like a song that would be in a Disney movie. I was like, well, it was Hallmark. So
absolutely.
Close. Are you ready for synopsis for Aussie at Heart? Samara, a former lawyer, now event planner, reunites with Nate, her ex-coworker and rival, to plan a couple's anniversary in Queensland and begin to confront their past and fall for each other.
Colin Budds directed this film. His other work for Hallmark includes A Melbourne Match from earlier 2026.
Ansley Gordon and Sophie Tilson share story credit for Hallmark's Aussie at Heart. Ansley recently wrote A Royal Setting and Melt My Heart This Christmas. Sophie has just a handful of writing credits, but tons of producing credits.
Oh. Rhiannon Fish stars as Samara after a very busy 2025 for Rhiannon. This is her first project for Hallmark this year.
And Daniel Lissing stars as Nate. Hallmark fans last saw him in last year's Single on the 25th.
Hey, Wendy, what was your first impression of Aussie at Heart?
I've watched too much Below Deck to overlook the complete lack of yacht staff.
We were in Newport Harbor the other day on a very small Duffy boat, and a large yacht was nearby, and they were cruising back to what I think was their slip. Mm-hmm. The guests on board the boat were all relaxing around a table, but there was a young woman in like a blue polo and a blue like athletic skirt, like running up and down stairs grabbing stuff. I'm like, look, that's the stew.
That's the stew.
Or the, what do they call the people that work on the deck?
Deckies.
Yeah.
Or the bosun is like that head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is what I was envisioning. Anyway, I did. And I felt bad because I was like, the other people are just like sitting up there grabbing drinks. And she's like, frantically running up and down these steps as they're getting ready to bring the boat back in.
Yeah, she's probably trying to get a tray of champagne and some hot warm towels for these people. Exactly. Something.
My first impression is this movie was beautiful. It was sunny and completely stakes free. I've never been so relaxed while also being so bored.
It was boring, right? Yeah. I agree. A question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think this was an acquisition?
I don't think it was, because Hallmark was promoting it as it was being made.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I noticed that the casting person wasn't the usual casting person on it.
Perhaps just because it has a largely Australian cast.
Yeah, true. There was something, I don't know. Let's talk about it.
Well, what did you like?
Well, I liked that we got Daniel Lissing as Australian Daniel Lissing.
Same.
I enjoyed him here. I like that we simply, we get to watch him be like who he is.
Yeah.
In terms of his native tongue, I guess. I like Daniel Lissing a lot. Just give this man a better movie is what I'm going to
Single on the 25th I thought was great.
No, yeah, I didn't really love that movie. I remember not liking it that much, but I like him so much. You know, in his character, right? I found myself Team Nate a lot in this movie because Nate likes to follow the rules. And considering he's like this like yacht captain or whatever, no, you can't just shoot fireworks off your yacht. Like, because
you want
Samara
your yacht captain to be a rule follower, keeping you alive.
Yeah, exactly. And so I didn't like that he was getting crapped on for being so buttoned up or being so like by the book.
Rules were made to be broken. No, they really weren't.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that too. Tell me what you liked.
Well, you know, the character I liked the most actually was Nate's brother, Billy.
Oh.
Billy spits truth in this movie. I mean, right up top, he's like, yo, you're good. You can go back. Like, thank you for coming home to help out with dad, but we're good here. Like,
you're not needed.
You can live your life.
Yeah.
Like, it's been great having you, but go live your own life. And I appreciated that because Samara was not getting that same live your own life vibe from her own family members. But the other thing I liked is as supportive as Billy was, he's also the one at the end who tells him to pull his head out of his you-know-what.
Yeah.
When he's like, look, you jumped to a conclusion, ruined this event for Samara. Like, you need to go make it right now.
Yeah.
Like, you made an assumption based on misinformation. Please go fix it.
Yeah. VIP Billy.
Props to Billy, who I actually think was not around for quite a bit of the trip. They like, every once in a while, I'm like, why is Nate doing everything? And then Billy would pop up every once in a while.
Look, I'm still telling you, you can't run this yacht with just these two people.
No.
I mean, who is making the beds?
Yeah, who's doing laundry?
Right. Who's making food? I know they said at one point they're like the kitchen made this or these sandwiches or whatever.
Right. The uncast kitchen.
Yeah. I want to talk about Rhiannon Fish.
Okay.
I thought she was much better in this movie than she has been in some of her recent Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
Her character is still bubbly and spontaneous, but I thought that Rhiannon Fish played her with a little more maturity. What I found to be absent was that quirky, and I'm gonna say it like that baby voice delivery we get from her sometimes.
Oh, she did it.
Oh, it didn't hit me over the head every single time though.
In smaller, much smaller doses.
So I liked her performance as Samara.
Yeah, she as Samara is a much more sure of herself character than we often get.
Right.
The Whit Sundays were stunningly beautiful. I would love to go there. It actually came up in a conversation with my husband and a neighbor of ours who have both been there about what a nice vacation that would be. If it weren't 1 million hours of a flight away, I would have already planned a trip there.
I'm telling you, if I were going to Australia, I would spend every single penny in my savings for like the most luxury travel because of how long it takes to get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. 16 hours on a plane, you've got to be comfortable. I did think it was stunningly beautiful. I do have some wishes about the location, but they were selling me. The Australian Tourism Board got every penny out of this movie that they should have.
Yeah, at one point I saw the water. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the bluest water I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah.
I also really liked the characters of Liv's parents.
Oh my gosh, that mom was the prettiest woman I've ever seen in my entire life.
Truly stunning. And the man playing her father, who is not credited on IMDb as of this moment, the recording of this episode, really was selling me on the emotion he felt for his wife.
During their vows?
Yes.
Yeah,
to the
that's
point
that too.
That I was like, wait a minute, are these two actually married? I wondered. I assume they're not. He's just a good actor, but I thought he really had a lot of emotion in his voice and his reactions. He was giving like, I married my best friend. I'm living the dream. I really enjoyed them. And we'll get to my wishes, but I do think they did a nice job of telling us bits and pieces about their love story and why we should care about celebrating the two of them. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I'm going to talk about my wishes.
Okay. And finally, I'm glad that it's Nate who's doing the moving and not Samara.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I have one more and it was just kind of, she was wearing that necklace that he had given her or whatever.
Yeah.
They do have this kind of intimate scene where he's like, oh, the necklace. It felt pretty romantic. Like we talk about these like nuanced scenes that make a viewer feel like, I thought this was one of them.
Yeah, because he touches the necklace and it's like a skin on skin moment.
Yeah.
It is. I think you're right. It was an intimate moment.
Thought, their kiss at the end was pretty HOTT.
I did think that was a great kiss as well. And I thought the emotion she was showing in the conversation leading up to the kiss was very well done as well. And they kiss like a lot. It's not one kiss. Like they keep going back for it.
Yes. It was as long as some of the excursions that they went on.
Let's take a quick break and come back to talk about our wishes.
Man, I got a long list of wishes.
Let's hear.
First, I want to talk about why Hallmark chose this movie to top off their birthday celebration. I can't figure out why. I thought last week's movie with Kimberly Sested and Jesse Metcalfe was a home run.
Yes.
In comparison to the 3 movies we've gotten in this birthday celebration. That's why I asked you if this was an acquisition, if you thought it was. I thought this movie was fine. It was not terrible, but I think fine is such a disappointing way to end something that Hallmark is telling us is special.
Well, I think you're right that it's fine because it's pleasant to look at. And I think the acting is at a decent level here. The issue with me is that I have a lot of issues with the story. And so if you're not paying attention, it's great. If you're just watching and it's on in the background and every once in a while you see them like having a cute jet ski moment or finding a treasure or telling a cute story, it's great. But when you dig into it, I think my biggest problem with this movie is that there's so much of the story that lives in the past that we're told via exposition, the conflict between Samara and Nate and all of the love story between Liv's parents, and Liz has been trying to get pregnant for a long time. All of this is told in exposition and I don't care that much about it. And the big conflict is about, we're watching this movie and I'm thinking, what's the problem here? And then I realized that the entire stakes upon which this movie is built is about, are we going to get fireworks at the end? Right. And it's just not enough for me to care. Part of it is, if I'm Liv's parents and I am this genuinely happy that we're renewing our vows and celebrating our 40-year relationship, and these two seem like each other's best friends and like they couldn't be happier to be here together, they don't give 2 SHITs about whether or not there's fireworks. Is it a nice touch? Sure. If it's not there, they care more about each other than about this event.
Yeah, they never showed us that they would have flipped out if there were...
Liv cared. She was trying to create a fun event, a memorable event for her parents. But it's like thinking about people who care more about the wedding than the marriage. These people care more about their marriage than the party.
That's what they've showed us.
So, okay, Liv might be disappointed, but first of all, maybe they don't even know that it's supposed to happen.
Right. You know that saying, like, if you didn't know it was supposed to happen, then you never miss it.
Yes. And I just think like Liv gets all spun up. Like the party starts and she's like, but what about the fireworks? And I thought she came in way too hot at the beginning of that party. I was like, stand down. It's okay. I just didn't really care. About the fireworks.
No, neither did I. Also, the other conflict between Nate and Samara being ex-coworkers and their falling out is incredibly thin. We have these 2 people who, I don't even understand, were lawyers at one time in this professional career. They have a bad case. So then he goes off to like help his family because his dad's sick. She quits her job as a lawyer to become an event planner. Right?
Yeah.
And they blame each other for what went wrong in their case.
And they still don't really seem to come to a resolution about it.
And any resolution they did, it was very quick. They'd been hanging on to all this baggage. And then she was like, we make a good team because we're opposites. And it's insane.
Look, the resolution there is thin. The resolution while they're kissing doesn't land for me. Nate gives a heartfelt apology. And Samara's like, I just don't know where to go from here. Seems like she doesn't still trust him. She's crying. It doesn't feel like she's telling me she has feelings for him, but then they have this very passionate kiss and she's like, all I know is this doesn't end here, which on one hand, I appreciate. There's no, I love you. There's no, let's go back to Seattle and start our lives together. It's just to be continued. Mm-hmm. But I just thought, oh, we still have some issues here to resolve. Speaking of unresolved issues, we have the Samara's career conflict with her father.
Yeah.
This is another thing that takes place off screen. The client up front tells us, oh, your dad's wondering when you're going to come back to law. And he sneakily signs her up for this interview. And none of it is strong enough for me to think that this is a real conflict that they're having.
What I also don't understand is what was so compelling for her to have to walk away from her law career? Like, what was so devastating?
She didn't have any passion for it.
Okay, fine. She has passion for event planning. She's also in her 30s at some point. You tell your parents, like, look,
yeah, this is what I'm doing.
I'm good. Mm-hmm. Bills are being paid. I'm taking care of myself. I'm good. Mm-hmm. Are you? If you're a parent of like a 30-year-old adult
and they
child,
have a job,
and are you pissed? Great. Or no?
Unless their job is hitman, like professional puppy kicker, right? They're paying their bills. They got a job. Great. Happy for you.
There's nothing in you that's like, well, I paid for law school and now here you are hosting baby showers.
Look, I just think you can't. I can understand having to rewrite your vision of what your child's life is going to be, because I think the worst thing we can do as parents is like project that, but it's impossible not to. I do it. I like think what their lives could be. So yeah, maybe you're going to have to rewrite that vision in your head, but that's a you problem, not a them problem.
Right.
Like, you were allowed to make your own choices. Now they need to be allowed to live their own damn life.
Yeah, I agree.
You can't, I'm going to pay for you to go to school on the stipulation that you have a job that I approve of for the rest of your life.
Totally.
Just, no, that's not going to work.
Agree. I needed Samara to dial way back on the rules are made to be broken, like personality quirk that she has. She's a real pain in the ass compared to Nate, I feel like.
Well, she is. But then the thing at the end, he's like, you're the kind of person that makes me want to break rules. But he doesn't break any.
I know.
So I don't know if I buy that.
You know,
make me want to break rules, but I'm not actually going to do that because that goes against everything in me.
I get that it's a nice balance to have somebody who like pushes you a little bit out of your comfort zone both ways. But, you know, come on. I just thought she was so annoying.
I wish there had been like a better example of rules were made to be broken than we're going to shoot fireworks off of this boat because this is dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, she was making him come off like Captain No Fun. And he's just trying to make sure like, look, like I said, I have watched enough Below Deck. Like there's all kinds of crazy like rules that you have to follow while at sea. So he needs to keep the people on his boat safe.
Well, the thing that doesn't make any sense to me is she has a backup plan. The barge is going to shoot off the fireworks. And of course, that falls through. But why that wasn't the go-to plan to begin with, then we don't have to be fighting with him this entire time.
Right. And I just had this thought while you were saying that. I can't believe this movie, the conflict is about freaking fireworks.
There is nothing else.
I get that. There is a Hallmark viewer out there that loves like the escapist, romantic, traditional Hallmark conflict. I get that. I like movies like that sometimes too, but come on. We need a better script here.
Look, I would say that the series Paris is a good idea, is operating within the Hallmark confines and is doing it well.
Yep.
So I just do not simply buy that it has to be, there's low stakes and then there's stakes that I just can't even get it up for.
Oh my God.
Let's talk. Did you see that?
I have quite a few.
Do you?
Quite?
I have one, like real one. And it's at the beginning of the movie. Samara gets a voicemail from Sophie, a woman who has also sent her resume. Mm-hmm. Now, Samara's based in Seattle. Sophie has an Australian accent because this movie was filmed in Australia. So whatever supporting character role this woman got, you know, it went to a local Australian actor. I just thought it was funny.
Well, actually, this is a part of her name is Sophie Tilson. She's the writer and producer on this movie.
Well, look at that.
Her resume said Sophie Tilson. I don't know if that was her actual picture that was on it. I was going to look. I forgot. But I don't know if that's her voice who makes the voicemail. But her resume that they show on screen, it says Sophie Tilson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look at that. I love it.
Look at that. The boat was acting in this movie too. I don't know if you heard it, but there were several dialogue scenes and you could hear in the boat in the background. Like the boat was squeaking so loudly. Had you noticed?
I didn't.
Oh my God. Like at one point my dog like looked up because the sound was so high pitched. And then in terms, there was a lot of like transition scenes that had like very loud music. I know the music really bothers some people. It doesn't typically bother me, but this movie, for some reason, they would transition from shot to shot where they're showing these big overhead shots of like the yacht just like jamming through the water with the like lights coming off of it and just like head banging rocker music behind it. I'm like, what is happening? What is going on? At one point, I think we got some AI butterflies.
Oh, yes.
You saw that, right?
I did. I wondered also if they were AI, CGI.
Oh,
anytime there's an animal on screen, I'm like, is that real?
I'm like, stop that. But didn't you think the excursion they were so long? Nate and Samara on this jet ski for the longest time.
It was filler.
Yes. Which goes back to, please get better scripts.
Like the jet ski was fun, but yeah, I thought it could have been half as long.
Totally. Two more little things. Nate is on a Zoom interview and I LOL'd because this is such a boat captain. He's wearing shorts, but he also has like a shirt and tie on. It made me laugh. And last, they talk about lamingtons, which are a Australian dessert. Did you hear it? She shows him like she has a box of like these desserts and he goes, oh, and he says the name of it, you know, in his accent, it was hard. So I had to like Google to figure out exactly what they're called. And I'm probably not saying it right, but this American accent it's lamingtons. But it is squares of sponge cake coated in chocolate and rolled in coconut and sometimes filled with jam or cream. It sounds like a zinger to me. Like
sounds kind of good.
You know, I was like, where can I get that in Orange County?
Yeah, were they like packaged or like someone had made them?
I don't remember. She just had like this weird box of like treats.
Okay.
Shannon from Australia, we need to know. Can we get you to send us some of these?
Oh my gosh.
You should have just saw Megan's face just light up.
Like a lamington.
I would love that. If those are like a, you know, processed, you know, dessert treat, like I'm thinking like a Hostess would make them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Please send us an email, Shannon. We'll give you an address.
Like a Tim Tam?
Yeah, but we can
get those here.
We can get those here. Yeah. That's all I got.
All right. Well, what did you rate Aussie at Heart?
Pretty to look at. 2.75 stars.
I gave it 2.5 stars.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark. We'll be back next time with more Hallmark reviews. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.